Copyright AFP 2019. Nicholas KAMMThe, former Secretary of Defense, notes that he and the US President disagreed primarily on NATO and on torture. While James Mattis reportedly influenced Trump's views on the latter issue, it was disagreement on the former issue that led to his resignation. Retired Secretary of Defense James Mattis, who left his post in January, elaborates on his disagreements with U.S. President Donald Trump in his upcoming book Call Sign Chaos, The Guardian reported on Wednesday. The Defense Secretary published an essay in the Wall Street Journal entitled Duty, Democracy and the Threat of Tribalism, which contains excerpts from the upcoming book. According to The Guardian, Mattis does not criticize his former boss directly, but focuses primarily on how his career in the Marines culminated in the Defense Secretary appointment, and barely touches on his tenure at the Pentagon. In the book, Mattis recalls the surprise he felt when he was contacted by Mike Pence in November 2016 and offered the job of Secretary of Defense. Mattis met with the president-elect at Trump's New Jersey golf club, and reportedly had an amiable discussion. But it was immediately clear the two men did not see eye to eye on two key issues: NATO and the use of torture. I figured that my strong support of NATO and my dismissal of the use of torture on prisoners would have the president-elect looking for another candidate, Mattis writes. Surprisingly, not only was Mattis picked as Defense Secretary, he influenced Trump's view, to a certain extent, according to The Guardian. In 2016, Trump told the New York Times that Mattis offered alternatives to interrogation and the president had acknowledged he was impressed by it. Mattis said, "I've always found, give me a pack of cigarettes and a couple of beers and I do better with that than I do with torture, and I was very impressed by that answer," Trump said at the time. Over time, however, the disagreements grew, particularly regarding NATO, which Mattis strongly supported and which Trump, acting on advice from various cabinet members, considered obsolete. Once the Defense Secretary's strategic advice stopped resonating with the president, Mattis made the move to depart. When my concrete solutions and strategic advice, especially keeping faith with allies, no longer resonated, it was time to resign, despite the limitless joy I felt serving alongside our troops in defense of the Constitution, he writes in the book. Mattis was U.S. Defense Secretary for 712 days, resigning on the 1st of January 2019. He is succeeded by Mark Esper, the current Secretary of Defense. Call Sign Chaos will be published next week. Let's block ads. Why?